The city of New York is very big, very loud, and always busy. Millions of people walk on the gray, cold streets every day in a small, warm apartment. A happy family lived together. This family had 3 people: a father, a mother, and 1 son. The mother's name was Elena. Elena was a very kind woman with a big dream in her heart. Since Elena was a very small child, Elena dreamed of Disney. Elena dreamed of the big castle and the bright lights. Elena imagined the famous characters and the happy music every night. Elena talked about Disney many times during dinner with a smile. Elena often looked at old photos of the Magic Park online. Elena imagined the sweet smell of the popcorn and the candy. The dream was always alive and strong inside her mind. The father, David, listened to Elena every night for many years. David knew that Elena wanted this trip more than anything. David worked very hard every day to save extra money. David kept the money in a small, secret wooden box. Their little son, Leo, was 7 years old and very curious. Leo loved stories about Mickey Mouse and the space rockets. Leo often drew pictures of the magic castle at school. The whole family shared this beautiful and magical dream together. One cold Friday night, David made a very important decision. David looked at Elena and said, "Let's go to Disney." David said, "Let's make this beautiful dream real for us." Elena could not believe the wonderful words she heard. Elena cried happy tears, smiled, and hugged her family tight. Elena danced around the kitchen with Leo because she was happy. The next morning, the big planning for the trip started. They decided to travel by car from New York to Florida. It was a very long road, but the family was excited. They spent 4 weeks buying everything for the long journey. Elena bought new shoes for walking and a yellow hat. David bought a new camera to record every special moment. They packed many large bags with clothes and many snacks. David checked the car's engine, the oil, and the tires. Elena bought a big map and marked the way to Florida. Leo packed his favorite toy, a small blue car, for the trip. Early on Monday morning, the sun started to rise slowly. The streets of New York were quiet and dark at 5 a.m. David drove the car slowly while Elena and Leo looked out. The long adventure to the Magic Park finally started today. After many hours of driving, they finally arrived at the giant gates. The entrance to Disney World was bigger than in the photos. Elena looked at the palm trees and started to cry again. Elena felt like a little girl waiting for a miracle. Elena said softly, "This is my beautiful childhood dream." The first day at the park was magical for the family. They entered the park and saw the giant castle in the center. Music was playing loudly and happily everywhere they walked. The colors of the flowers were bright and very beautiful. They walked to a special place to meet the famous Mickey Mouse. There was a small line of happy children and parents. Leo was very nervous, but also very happy to wait. Suddenly, the door opened and they saw Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse had big black ears and a very friendly smile. Mickey wore a red and black suit with white gloves. Leo ran to him and gave Mickey a very big hug. Mickey Mouse patted Leo on the head and danced a little. David took many photos of the moment with his new camera. Elena touched Mickey's hand and felt like a happy child. Mickey pointed to the castle and made a heart with his hands. After meeting Mickey, they walked to see the funny dog, Goofy. Goofy was very tall and wore a green hat and a blue vest. Goofy made a funny sound and pretended to trip on his shoes. Leo laughed so loud that his face turned very red. Goofy played a small game with Leo and David. Goofy tried to take David's camera to take a funny selfie. The family laughed and enjoyed the funny moment with the tall dog. They felt like the characters were their real old friends. In the afternoon, they visited a giant and beautiful house. Inside the house, many famous Disney princesses were waiting. Elena saw Cinderella and felt her heart beat very fast. Cinderella was wearing a long, shiny blue dress and a crown. Cinderella looked at Elena and said, "Hello, princess. Welcome to the castle." Elena smiled and told Cinderella about a long dream. Cinderella held Elena's hand and told her that dreams really come true. Elena took a beautiful photo with her favorite princess. Then they met the brave Princess Ariel from the sea. Ariel had long red hair and a very beautiful green tail. Ariel talked to Leo about the fish and the blue ocean. Leo told Ariel that he loved swimming in the pool. They also met the strong hero, Buzz Lightyear from space. Buzz had a white and purple suit with many bright buttons. Buzz showed Leo how to fly to the stars and the moon. Leo stood very straight and made a space salute with Buzz. The family also saw many other characters in a big parade. They saw Donald Duck waving from a big, colorful ship. They saw Peter Pan and Wendy flying high above the street. Everyone was singing, dancing, and shouting hello to their family. The characters made the park feel alive and full of magic. Every encounter was a special memory for Elena, David, and Leo. They did not feel like tourists in a big city. They felt like they were part of a magical story. They bought a giant blue balloon for little Leo. The balloon had the face of Mickey Mouse on it. They also bought some sweet popcorn and many chocolate cookies. Everything tasted better because they were together in the park. At night, the family gathered in front of the castle. The sky was full of bright light and beautiful colors. Elena held David's hand tightly while they watched the fireworks. The lights looked like stars falling from the dark sky. Elena whispered softly, "Thank you for this beautiful moment." The next days were also amazing and full of stories. They visited many different parks and saw very fast trains. They saw many heroes and funny characters from famous movies. Every day felt very special and full of love for them. Leo said, "This is the best trip of my life, Daddy." David and Elena agreed with a big, honest smile. They felt closer and stronger as a family than before. After the trip was finished, they returned to New York. The drive back was quiet because they were very tired. They talked about the funny characters the whole way. They knew this memory would stay in their hearts forever. This trip was not just a vacation for the family, it was a beautiful dream finally coming true today. It was a story of love, family, and true happiness, and it started with a simple decision to be happy.